Hi guys, Bran here, today with a very different video for you. So, I was approached yesterday by one of my really great buds, Mouse8Cougar, and he wanted me to look at one of his Blight games and analyze it and try to see, like, you know, what I think about it and stuff. So I thought that was really cool. So I'm going to do that, and we'll do that live. So hopefully you enjoy this video, and if you don't, I don't know, go watch somebody else, I guess. I don't know why you're here if you don't like my videos. but yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So it's Blight on Ironworks, which, you know, Ironworks is typically a map that I'm not like a huge fan of, but you know, with Blight you have movement speed, so it's not the worst thing in the world.
Ironworks, okay, I can f with this.
I love Matt. Matt's so nice. If you see Matt out in the world and other Twitch chat and stuff, I love him to death. He is such a sweet boy. I love him so much. Definitely talk to Matt if you see him out in the world, out in the other Twitch chats and stuff. Great, fantastic human being. Wow, you're on a gen right away. So there, that's just like, that's really simple. Either she was there or she wasn't. Maybe you could have waited like a half second, waited for her to move before hitting her, but, you know, you didn't know. But yeah, maybe wait a half second. You know, that's not a big mistake. It's just kind of like being patient. You'll see me do that on the Twitch stream all the time.
Oh my god.
You know what you did. I don't have to say anything. But yeah, I get like that all the time. Like I'll say I'll get too excited and I'll swing too early. Yeah, it's just kind of like the thrill of playing killer, right? Is you want to hit people and get people down as soon as possible. But you know, patience is key.
Bots, you know this now. Oh my god, dude.
Okay, so in this situation, since it's happened like multiple times, like we get caught up in wanting to lunge because obviously that, you know, carries distance, and we think lunging is just like the best way to do. Sometimes it's better just to like tailgate somebody really close and then just M1. Like if you realize that somebody's like semi good at spinning or has really awkward weird movement, just like tailgate them a bit and just like M1, because that like helps you like mitigate this problem of people having weird movement or being good at spinning you. You can just M1, so that's how you avoid that. See what? There you go. I didn't have to say anything. That was good. That was really good. That was really good.
Oh
once again with the lunge thing. Yeah. See, it's always the M1 that saves it. Just the normal M1, not the lunge. Just the normal M1. Taking her to the center. This is very good. So, this is something I want to point out that a lot of like fledgling killers don't do that he was already doing, which is really good. It's like you kind of want to like carry your survivors towards where you think other survivors are, because you kind of want to create this hot spot around the map where you can pressure multiple areas. Because the reason that Dead by Daylight is hard is not because Dead by Daylight's not hard because, or Killer in Dead by Daylight is not hard because the gens are like hard to do or hard to defend. It's just that they're so far away. Like this one's all the way back here, that one's all the way back there. So if somebody is on either of these, like they're basically getting them done in secret. And that's with Blight, who's like one of the highest mobility killers in the game. So that's pretty obnoxious. So like if you can carry the survivor to a more central area where you can kind of like try to pressure these and try to keep an eye on them, that's really good. Which is what he did, which is nice. Because you gotta like try to like kind of mentally shrink the map, yeah. If you can't actually shrink the map. Okay. Yep. That's why I don't play this character very often. That stuff right there. So typically, I've heard this from multiple Blight friends, and you can, you know, those of you who also play Blight, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I've also heard this from multiple other Blight mains, is that, like, looking at things at an angle makes you slide more often, whereas if you want to bump off something, you gotta, like, go directly at it. I don't know if that's, like, wholly true. Blight's, like, my 5th favorite character. I don't play him too often, but that's what, I have a lot of Blight mains that watch me, so, they tell me that, so hopefully that's true. Bonk. 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 That was good that you got around that. It sucks that she got the pallet stun, but it's good that, you know, that was actually a good rush. Okay. She's gonna hug the rock. Doing the hug tech. Yeah, there you go. So what Matt did there is actually really good. So this is like what you could do with Blight to kind of like cheese when people are hiding behind rocks like this Yunjin was, is you can bump the object, wait a second, and kind of like use that slow drift that you have between rushes to kind of like move to one side of the object, and then you can rush again and get around it, which is it's just a fun little Blight tech. It's really neat. It's stuff like that that makes the character fun. It's just like little things that you can do. Yeah, she was just camping the pallet. So when you're running a long wall tile like this, where it's a long wall right here, typically as killer, it's better to take things from the inside of the tile than the outside of the tile, because when you're on the inside of the tile, you deny her the window and you deny her the exit that she took this way to go back into the rest of the map. If you were going to force her, if you had the inkling that she was going to camp the pallet or was going to go to the pallet, the best thing to do in that scenario would have been to, you know, force the pallet down where with you in the center. That way she can't take advantage of that window or the exit.
Yep, that.
Zoning's really, really important for killer. Like, it's little stuff like that that just like now this chase is going on a much longer because she had access to the rest of the map. But she's a goober and runs right out into him. But she had another tile right there she could have used. So like that's like super important.
Totally okay.
Yeah, I must say that's a really, really late first gen, so that's fine. And you have you don't want to have 1-for-1 gen hook and hook, but 2 hooks for 1 gen isn't too bad. Obviously, ideally you want more, but eh.
Who's this?
Who is this? Okay, they're going for the save. They ran and then walked, which is interesting. Does it commit to the save? Interesting. I would have just followed. I wouldn't have doubled back. Especially with Blight. Maintain that line of sight is really important. Yeah, because now she's going to get that save for free because of the long wall. This is just a good tile setup. Long wall into a long wall, short wall. Why does she camp that? That's an interesting choice from the Meg. Okay. She's gonna make it, yeah, around. Ugh. I hate running. Ooh! Oh! That was good. That was almost really good. I don't think that was you. I think that was just kind of like, you know, the way she ended up running was kind of odd. There you go. Force Shack Pallet. Even at 3 gens, it's good to get Shack Pallet out of the way. God Pallet down. Good. Now, the other 2 you know aren't on a gen, and you know the last person just finished a gen, so in theory, there's not a lot of gen progress on the map right now. So you did the right thing by committing to the down here. Because, like, there's no way they're on a gen, unless they had one already, like, you know, primed and ready. Otherwise, that probably would have been a bad chase, like if you suspected somebody else was on a gen. Mega's...
Oh.
That's not your fault. Survivors are just annoying. I hate when people do that. Okay, she's not an idiot. Sometimes the like killer isn't. I'm not sure about the locker check there.
Around, okay.
Yeah,
Dang.
I always like. Okay, I want to say this. Like, always suspect lockers last, because unless somebody's running quick and quiet and head on, like it literally makes no sense to hop into a locker mid chase. So like, yeah, does it happen? Yes, but realistically, how often does it happen? Not that often, so it's kind of not worth it to, like, you know, commit that time.
Where? She's not here, is she?
She went to, like, the left. Her scratch marks went to the left outside of the door. But I lose scratch marks all the time. It's not like I'm like, haha, silly moron, you didn't know. I lose scratch marks all the time. I think she was just baiting another rush so she could 360 out in the open. Good. Oh, that was good on her. She made her movement ambiguous. I'm about to say, if you didn't get that,
I actually got that.
I'm gonna say, if you didn't get that, I would have uninstalled. I would have uninstalled for you. I would have been upset. Okay. Ooh. Oh, good juke. Good juke. That wasn't you. That was her. That was her doing the right thing. Like, looking behind her, knowing to get out of the way at the last second. That was just a good play on Meg's part.
Who's this?
Oh, you just got too excited. You got too hype. She's back there still. I don't think she ran. Yeah. Okay, she did. Never mind. It's kind of confusing with, like, Meg and her being here at the same time. You know? Right call to rush there. Because if she made that window, you'd have to break the wall, and that extends the chase even longer. So that was a good time to rush. See, like, even with when you have brutal strength, you don't necessarily want to commit to just, like, breaking pallets. This is a bad habit that I have, which is, like, I want to break pallets, like, non-stop. Like, I think, because it's important to get pallets out of the way in the map and create dead zones, but, like, I commit too hard to it a lot. That's one of the things I need to improve on. So at this point, you kind of need to do something scummy, or quote-unquote scummy. You need to, like, tunnel somebody or, you know, proxy camp or something like that. Because, or put somebody in basement, because... Okay, so, here's the thing. Like with Blight rushes, like, a lot of it is, like, you get near them, and you want to, like, throw your lunge out, because you're like, oh, they're here, they're in front of me, so clearly I'm going to hit. But literally all it takes with your mouse, look at my mouse, all you literally have to do is go like that, and then you miss. Like, as Survivor, you just go, woo, and then he misses. So you got to be a little bit more, like, calculated, I guess, about it. I don't know how to describe it, but you can't really, like... Just because they're in front of you doesn't mean you get the hit, essentially, because they can still jiggle their mouse and call it a day, so... Like... And once again, this is a problem I also have, so I'm not saying this from a place of, like, I'm better than you, because, like, I also get way too excited to hit people, because I love playing killer. So, okay, what I would have done here was, what I would have done there was, like, either rush into the shack or rush to the side of the shack and hope she takes window. It was kind of just a wasted rush to just kind of, like, see what she did and just stand there. Because now she makes a lot more distance. You're also not really hiding. You're also not moonwalking. You're kind of, like, not hiding your stain. Okay, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this interaction, because I think this is probably the only thing I've seen is, like, a big misplay. The other stuff I've seen is just kind of, like, small stuff. Like, the big misplay here is that Shack does not have the pallet up. You got rid of that early at 3 gens, which is why it was really great to have that down early, and why it's good that you forced that early. But you don't seem to anticipate that how she's going to play Shack without the pallet. Because you have two options when Shack pallet is gone. Run around the outside or take the window. The window is the obvious option because it's the better option. So what she's doing is she's mind gaming you, and she's done it twice because she knows you think she's going to take the window. So she's refusing to take the window, or baiting taking the window rather. She's baiting taking the window and then running around the other side. And she's done it to you twice. So she's just done a mind game. She's not actually, like, outrunning you or doing anything crazy. She's just faked the window twice, and it's worked twice. So keep in mind that she doesn't have anything to work with. So her only option was one or the other. You still get her down, but you had 2 additional loops around Shack, and you have a gen on the other side of the map that's almost done. So that's that time was crucial. So that's just, like, you know, getting in the head of, like, the other player. That's kind of like that sort of thing. Yeah, you're essentially about to lose because that gen's done, and then they're on that gen. And there's probably a third person on a different gen. You saw that. Okay, so you're probably feeling the pressure, and this is why you do this. So you come running up. Hold on. So you come running up because you really want this gen to be stopped, because you're like, because you know that one in the back left is almost done from when you were over there earlier. So you probably know I'm not going to go pressure that one, because even if I, like, dry kick it, it's only, like, the 4%, and they're just going to tap it. So you're going to go to this other gen so you don't just lose the match outright. And I don't know if you just didn't see it, but there's scratch marks, really, really fresh scratch marks right here on this side of the wall, showing that she probably slow vaulted and then ran away. But because you're probably, like, wanting to stop the gen as much as possible, you still run back here, right? And once again, that's yeah, you missed her. She bypassed you. You guys ran parallel to each other when you could have just, like, found her initially. That was dumb on her part. Oh, Babu Megs. You're not gonna get this. Oh, you do. Wow. Good internet, go burr. Usually if the survivor's laggy at all, or you're laggy at all, I didn't even know that person was there. Usually if they're laggy at all, or you're laggy at all, that just doesn't work. So that's good. I'm glad that you didn't get robbed. You didn't get dedicated. Okay, so right now what I would do is I would honestly tunnel the thing. Okay, I know you want 4 stacks, but this Meg has honestly, like, I'm not saying outplayed you, but she has done a really good job. Ooh, that hurts. That hurts. I don't know if you could have done anything there. Like, this Meg has honestly, like, outplayed you.
Dude, I lost her?
Yeah. Yeah, she's outplayed you at every single, like chase you guys have ever had, which is fine, because that means she's probably good at the game, right? But, like, at the same time, that means you need to adjust. You need to say, that player's out of my league. Even though she's my stack, I'm not going to commit to her. Because what's going to happen? What happens realistically is, I know you want that 4 stack of barbecue because sweet, sweet blood points. But if you tunnel her, kill her, go after Meg, kill Meg, there's only 2 people left in the trial. And she can't do this forever. The Yunjin, you've been really good at chasing. So eventually, Meg will have to mess up just because there's less people in the trial. But chasing her while there's still 4 people up in the trial, and she's proven that she's, you know, I don't mean this as this isn't a bad thing to you. This Meg is good. She knows how to outplay you. You need to, like, take that into account and not chase her, or not unless she's like out in the open or making a big mistake. You need to, yeah. And now you're committing to the chase with somebody who you haven't downed this person yet. So this is a big problem that I see a lot of killers make. Is like I said, I know you want the stack, but, like, how does this benefit you in terms of the match progress so far? Let's say that Meg also has a relatively safe tile that she's already at. Meg has no hook progress, none so far. So let's say, you know, you guys do this waltz, this dance. It takes about 15, 20 more seconds. What do you get at the end of this? You get your 4th barbecue stack, but do you win the match? No, because the other gen's going to get done. There's another gen over here that's, like, halfway done. And she's not going to be dead. You needed somebody dead a gen ago. Usually you want, in most killer games, to have somebody dead by 2 gens. That's just kind of like how it goes. And if that is not the case, you need to force that to happen, or else you're just kind of going to lose the game. So this overcommitment to this Meg, probably for the 4th barbecue stack, I would assume, is just kind of like probably, I'm assuming that this match is probably going to go south from here, and it's because the overcommitment to the Meg. But let's see. See, like, she's really good. She knows how to make you hesitate. Like this Meg's good at faking, which is really nice. What did that take? Like an extra 10 seconds because of that?
She probably has deliverance, but that's okay.
There's also that. There is also that. Now you got a Peepo speed. They're not on that gen, thankfully. Why, I'm not sure. You need to find somebody who's... You need to find that Fang. That Fang mean. You need to find that Fang that's, like, near dead. That's yeah. Fine. See, and that happened because... That happened because you let the Fang live, and then you overcommitted to the Meg. That's the only reason you're in this situation. I know it sucks to, like, tunnel somebody sometimes, but, like, at the end of the day, people just want to win, right? And that's, like, that's the biggest thing. Because if you wanted the W, that was what you had to do. Because they want the W too. That's why they've been so efficient about doing the generators, is for that reason.
I see her.
So I don't know even know. Is she? She might not. I hope she is. She just runs and she. So, like, if I'll put, like, little numbers here, too. So, like, if you wanted to, like, you gotta, like, in your head while you're playing a match, rate your survivors. Hyunjin, bless her heart, probably the easiest person to chase on this team. Meg, this other Meg, probably the second least, especially after that slow vault back into the killer. Fang was probably 3, and realistically, this other Meg, the one that's been juicing you, like... They're the hardest survivor on the team, but they're, like, significantly better than the rest of the team. So I think, as funny as this is, I feel like the main reason you lost this match is just because you took Meg's challenge way too much. I think that's, like, the main thing. And you didn't commit to killing this girl early when you should have. You definitely should have said, where's Fang, and go get her out of the game early so they couldn't have as much gen pressure. Well, you're getting a slug, which is good. Go pick up the latest person. Good, good. Don't chase her. Don't. Mouse. Mouse attack. Yeah. So the Babu Meg was on the door. Okay, she is on death. Good, good. So essentially what this came down to, she had Unbreakable, was that these two were the ones you needed to be dead, but you committed to chases on the Megs instead of the people that were on Death Hook. And this was 2 gens ago. 2 gens ago, these two were on Death Hook, but you committed to chases with other people.
Okay.
So yeah, you get your 2K.
That's Unbreakable, dude.
But, you know, most people consider that a tie. So if you wanted the 4K, you definitely should have killed them earlier. And with barbecue, you can see the outlines of the characters and how they look, so you can tell who's going where, as long as they're on barbecue.
Actual fun ass game though.
That's good though.
I feel like I'm getting better too. So much.
You are getting better.
Fun.
You are getting better. Yeah. So like, biggest takeaways. Don't overcommit to survivors that you know are like consistently outplaying you, and try to focus on people that consistently go down easily to you. If somebody's not dead by 2 gens left in the match, you need to make that happen. And in this match, you had 2 people on Death Hook with 2 gens left, and you didn't kill either of them. And that's probably the biggest blunder. That's probably the biggest blunder. It's just like, you had 2 people on Death Hook, and you needed somebody dead by 2 gens, and you didn't kill those people until the other 2 gens were done, even though you had half the team on Death Hook. That's just kind of like if you wanted the 4K, that's definitely what you should have done. Also, the Fang mind game at the shack, that was just kind of funny to watch. She mind gamed you by doing nothing, just because like you assumed she would take the window every single time, and she manipulated that to just get free loops around shack when there literally wasn't a pallet up. So definitely like try to keep in mind of like the survivor mindset, which you do, because you're obviously watching. I'm in the same streams as you. You always like are watching survivor streams, but like keep that in mind that like, you know, survivors don't always do the obvious thing. Other than that, I mean, like, you know, you were doing good Blight things. You did the skirt around the corner thing that you can do by bouncing. I mean, like, you were doing fine, besides just like, you know, getting too excited and swinging early a lot. I mean, other than that, you're like the actual like killer gameplay, like you actually playing killer, it was fine. It was fine. It was just kind of like, it wasn't really your killer gameplay. It was kind of like your mindset and your goals were not accurate based on the pacing of the match. Like I said earlier, with like not killing somebody by 2 gens, not reading people right, overcommitting to somebody who consistently had outplayed you, that sort of thing. But yeah, overall, that's like pretty normal stuff. But yeah, hopefully you found this stuff like helpful in some way, and hopefully you at home learned some tips by also watching this, and you can take these into your games as well and try to become a better killer. Thank you so much for letting me review this mouse. I really appreciate you. And if I don't see the rest of y'all in the next YouTube video or in the Twitch channel, I will see you when I see you, friends. Goodbye. Bye-bye.